Well, 24 cities in China have issued red alerts for smog, the country's highest level in its 4-tier warning system. You're looking at drone footage from Xi'an, which shows just how thick and how high the smog is in parts of China. One city not under red alert for smog is China's capital, Beijing, interestingly, but it has put out a red alert for fog, not smog. Let's bring in Tom Cedar to see how much longer these high-level alerts will continue. Fog versus smog.
Interesting.
Is that fog or smog in Beijing?
It's the very first fog alert they've ever put out. But didn't go with the smog. And this costs a lot of money. You're shutting down factories. Construction sites are ending their work. Schools are closed. People have to stay home. Vehicles can't be on the roads. If it wasn't for the smog, we would be talking about a couple of states in Malaysia where 28,000 have been displaced with flooding. But we're talking about nearly 400 million that are looking at this toxic smog and the high pollutant levels. 24 cities under a red alert, but not Beijing. Interesting. They came up with a 4-tier system just 3 years ago, but just about a week and a half ago, Beijing authorities saying they're going to leave it up to the municipalities to put out the warnings and not a broad blanket. This is a beautiful satellite imagery from Japan, the Himawari. This is all the smog you see here. In blue, it's snow that's on the ground, or there's some cold air in the clouds there, but you can see the density of the smog. And it's impacting a lot of people. Now, numbers are starting to get better. Anything over 300 is hazardous, but there's a 500, 537, 654, 651, 724. This is dangerous. Now, it's going to start to get a little bit better, but let's break this down and why this is almost kind of a political move, if you want to look at it this way. They put the threshold and the criteria together back in 2013. Air quality index of 200 or plus for 4 days, you get a red alert. At 300, for 2 consecutive days, you get a red alert. Or if it's over 500 for a 24-hour period. Well, we know that Beijing's numbers were just as high as the other 24 cities, if not higher, getting well above 300. But of course, that would mean canceling, a lot of factories. They even said a couple of days ago they were going to send out 10 teams of inspectors to find out who was still open and going through illegal practices. So they put out their very first fog alert for visibility. Now, we do have some video, and yes, fog is a problem. This happened in Shandong. We had a 20-vehicle accident in the morning where visibility dropped to 50 meters. Sure, you can have fog alerts, but also have smog alerts because that's more important. And if you're not going to shut down some of these factories, these particulates continue to build, and you're going to have more and more premature deaths. Now, the number right now in Beijing is at 278, so it's getting a little bit better. The forecast does call for it, unfortunately, still to be unhealthy to very unhealthy. And if you look at the forecast on Sunday, sunshine, that means high pressure. So the sun will be shining, but it's going to shine above the smog that's going to build beginning on Sunday. Let's shift gears. Some good news in China. We look forward to this every year. Thousands will be going to Harbin, China for the Harbin Ice and Snow Festival. It begins today, January 5th. And every year when we look at these photos and share the video with you, it gets grander and grander. The attention to detail these artists have put together, the illumination of the lights, it seems like the village gets larger and wider, and these buildings get higher. You can see the size of the people to the architecture and the intricate work, but another photo, you can even see how grand these buildings are. Amra, ice sculptures, snow sculpture competitions. It's going to go on for a few weeks. Thousands go there. It's just absolutely beautiful. Just bundle up.
I would love to hire some of these ice sculptors to build my house. I probably would do